In 1901, a professional baseball player named Jack Dalton walked off the field after a game and was never seen again. No body, no missing persons report, no death certificate. It's like he vanished into thin air. And he's not the only one. Today, I'm covering 5 MLB players who mysteriously disappeared forever. And some of these cases will keep you up at night. These aren't stories of lost stats or broken careers. These are full vanishings. Some never made headlines. Some left behind chilling clues. And some are still unsolved. So what really happened to them? And why do these disappearances keep happening? Even in a sport obsessed with stats and history, let's take a closer look. Jack Dalton played outfield in the early 1910s. A reliable player bouncing between Brooklyn and Detroit. Then came July 4th, 1948. Dalton told family he was walking to church. He left his house and was never seen again. No missing person report. No body. The trail ran cold. For decades, nothing surfaced. Researchers and baseball historians speculated. Did he move under a new identity? Was he hiding from something? Then, decades later, a forgotten hospital record revealed he died of a heart failure in Pittsburgh. Alone, under a different name. He was buried in an unmarked grave. It took over 60 years to confirm. One of the MLB's earliest missing persons mysteries finally had an answer, but left behind even more questions. Jesse Hollins pitched for the Cubs in 1992. His MLB moment was brief, but promising. He threw with power, and many believed he'd make a comeback. Years later, in 2009, he was finishing with family in Lake Livingston, Texas. He told his son he was going out to cast again, and vanished into the water. Search teams found nothing for days. No signs of struggle, no witnesses. Eventually, his body surfaced, drowned. There was no sign of foul play. Some believed it was a tragic accident. Others whispered that the timing, just before his son was to start college, seemed ominous. His death was ruled accidental, but the mystery of what really happened remains open in the minds of those who knew him. That's 2 cases with some answers. But what happens when there's no wreckage, no remains, nothing at all? Charlie Pete was a rising star in the 1950s, expected to become the St. Louis Cardinals' starting center fielder in 1957, the first black player to do so in team history. He had just wrapped a brilliant season in the minors, hitting over .350. He and his family traveled to Venezuela, where he'd play winter ball. But during their flight through the Andes Mountains, their plane encountered severe weather and crashed. Everyone aboard perished. The wreckage wasn't found for days. Pete's story is largely forgotten today, despite the historic path he was blazing. In a different world, Pete might have been a Hall of Famer. Instead, he's a footnote. One of many stars whose careers ended not by injury or scandal, but sudden disappearance. Now for one of the strangest disappearances in baseball history. Len Koeneke played for the Brooklyn Dodgers in the 1930s. He was a strong hitter with a .320 average, but had a reputation for being erratic. In 1935, he was cut from the team mid-season. Angry and intoxicated, he boarded a flight to return home to Buffalo, somewhere over Ontario, Canada. He became agitated and attacked the pilot. A struggle broke out in midair. Another passenger managed to subdue Kennedy by striking him with a fire extinguisher. The plane made an emergency landing. Kennedy was dead. At just 31 years old, his career ended in the most bizarre and violent way imaginable. To this day, his story feels more like a crime noir film than a baseball bio. So far, we've seen disappearance by choice, by accident, and by tragedy. But some disappearances are never solved. Big Ed Delahanty was one of baseball's early legends, a Hall of Famer, career batting average of .346, one of only a handful to hit 4 homers in a single game. But in 1903, things went sideways. He was put off a train in Canada for being drunk and belligerent. Alone, he tried to walk across the International Railway Bridge over Niagara Falls. He never made it. Days later, his body was recovered downstream. But the cause? Still debated. Was it suicide? Was he pushed? Maybe robbed? No one knows. One of the greatest hitters of the 19th century gone in one of baseball's most haunting mysteries. Different eras, different endings. But every one of these stories has something in common. Sudden departure from the game, lack of closure, and legacies that were cut short, reshaped, or erased, even in a sport defined by numbers, stats, wins, averages. There are gaps, missing records, missing people, disappearance. It turns out is a part of baseball history too. And these 5, they're just the beginning. There are at least 20 other players in MLB and minor league history who vanished, literally or symbolically. Some during war, some during scandals, some after mental health battles or in unknown personal crises. Many were never searched for. Some were never remembered. In old record books, there are names with no death dates, stats that end abruptly. These are the forgotten men of baseball, and we may never know the full truth behind many of them. So what does it mean to vanish? Is it a body that's never found? A career that ends without explanation? Or a legacy that simply slips from public memory? For Dalton, Hollins, Pete, Kennedy, and Delahanty, it's all of the above. Baseball is a game of legends, but also of silence. Some players disappear into fame, others into oblivion, and some, like these 5, into the shadows. They deserve to be remembered. Their stories may be incomplete, but they're no less real. Don't forget their names.